Hare Krishna. Okay. Seventeen, 15. Okay. That's 14. Thirteen, 14. 15 is this one. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Antara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Samaveta Bhaktavinda ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, founder, Child International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Chapter 17, Divisions of Faith, text number 15. So I think on the board. So you can repeat after me. Anubhega karma vakyam satyam priya hitam chayat Svadaya Bashunam Chaiva Vanmayam Tapa Uchate Anubhega Karam Vakyam Satyam Priya Hitam Chayat Swadaya Bashunam Chaiva Vanmayam Tapa Uchate Anuvega Karma Vakyam Satyam Priya Hitam Chayat Swadaya Basanam Chaiva Vanmayam Tapa Uchate. Anyone want to try? Okay. No. Okay. I'll go for what then. Anuvegam kanam vakyam satyam priya hitam chayat Swadya Vashanam Chaiva Vanmayam Tapa Uchate. Okay. No? Okay. What word? Anuvega Karam. Not agitating. Vakyam. Words. Satyam. Truthfulness. Priya. Dear. Hitam, beneficial. Cha, also. Yat, which. Swadaya, or Vedic study. Abhyasanam, practice. Cha, also. Eva, certainly. Vakyam, or the Vedic of the voice. Tapa, austerity. Uchate is said to be. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada. Austerity of speech consists of speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others. And also in regularly reciting the Vedic literature. You can repeat after me. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others. And also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. Srila Prabhupada's purport. One should not speak in such a way as to agitate the minds of others. Of course, when a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his students. But such a teacher should not speak to those who are not his students, if he will agitate their minds. This is a penance as far as talking is concerned. Besides that, one should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in spiritual circles is to say something upheld by the scriptures. one should at once quote from scripture authority to back up what he is saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussions, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. There is a limited stock of Vedic literature, and one should study this. This is called the finance of speech. Omagyanti mandasya gana gana salakaya chakshur militamena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha Sri Chaitanya manobishtam stapitamena bhutale Swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasta Saisitaine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, there was one pastime with Srila Prabhupada happened in Los Angeles. Prabhupada was preaching the Krishna conscious philosophy, and his one man, he put the question to Prabhupada, if everyone in the world went back to Godhead, what would happen to the world? And Srila Prabhupada said, unfortunately that will not happen because there will be always fools like you. So Prabhupada told his devotees that an old man and a young child, they can speak certain things which others cannot speak. So Prabhupada told his disciples, you cannot imitate me. So yeah. So generally, in modern day society, people pay money to go to university, college, to hear lectures, to learn subjects. So we can see even in the mundane world, to learn, you have to invest time, pay money, invest your energy. It's not like everything just comes easy. You have to put some austerity behind it. So same thing applies in spiritual life, that one has to invest austerity behind it. And in spiritual life is a science. So Prabhupada would say in the preference Bhagavad Gita, he would explain that people have designations, Christian, Mohammedan, Buddhist, Hindu. Prabhupada said, this is not our real religion. Our real religion, if you take away the designations, we are all servants. So a Hindu can become a Christian can become a Muslim, but I don't know, when you take the designation away, they're all servants. So our real religion, we are servants of God, servants of Krishna. So, so Krishna consciousness is a science. In this science, one has to learn there are three classes of devotees. So there is a beginner who's known as a Kanishta Adhikari. So he just comes to the temple to see the deity, but he doesn't reciprocate with devotees. So Prabhupada comments. He says it's very important to come to the Madhyam Adhikari platform. So Madhyam Adhikari, he sees four things. He sees Krishna, the Supreme Lord. He respects the devotees, reciprocation with devotees. He avoids the envious and he preaches to the innocent. So, unless one comes to the Madhyamika high platform, there is a chance of falling down in Krishna consciousness. So the way one advances is that one has to take association of those who are advanced. And by taking the association and by discussing with them and clearing our doubts, then we advance in our consciousness. In modern day society, people take association very lightly. They don't take it so seriously. They're just into socializing. But there's an English saying, whoever you associate with, you become like. So even Srila Prabhupada, he on his lectures, he gives an elaboration on this point about association. He says if someone's got tuberculosis and they drink water and you drink that water, you get tuberculosis also. So that's association affects. So in spreading Krishna consciousness, we have to make distinctions. Just like example is given in wartime, they say the people who are too injured, they can't save. People who are less injured, they save them. So same in Krishna consciousness, there are certain situations where people could not be helped, and Prabhupada would tell the devotees, give them prasad and the holy name. And if some people are intelligent, you give them books. So in modern day system of education, they emphasize on the Darwin's theory. They emphasize on life coming from matter. But Srila Prabhupada made solid arguments against this, saying that this is all cheating. Because people want to maintain their sense gratification, they promote these theories. And they're not open to accept the real understanding how life comes from life. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, Krishna gives many arguments explaining how life is coming from life. It's the soul which makes the body active. And there was one instance with Hamsadutta Prabhu. There's one scientist, he was claiming that life comes from chemicals. So Hamsadutta Prabhu, in his time, he challenged this person, I'll give you $1 billion if you can create life from chemicals. I'll give you the chemicals, you create life. So he went there and the person didn't come. So Prabhupada was happy, he was happy that this Hamsadutta Prabhu challenged this person. And in the material world, it's like wherever there's light, there's darkness. So when Srila Prabhupada started spreading the Krishna consciousness movement, he himself gave the example on living it. And then he was writing the books, he was translating the books, and his lectures were coming out. Because even in a modern day world, you see, people look for leaders to follow. Without a leader, people cannot do anything. So Prabhupada said, if you follow a perfect leader, you become perfect. If you follow someone who's a cheater, you become cheated. So, in the material world, unfortunately, many people want to be cheated. So Krishna sends cheaters to cheat them. It says the devotees, the Madhyamādhikari, he's like a Vaimedia. He's like Krishna's mercy. He gives the mercy out to connect people to Krishna. So they asked Srila Prabhupada before he left his body. Some big people in India, they asked Prabhupada the question that after you leave this world, who's going to carry on your mission? So Prabhupada said, I've created a GBC body, a body of Brahmanas. They'll be governing the society, how it's going to go forward. And my books are there. So those who read my books, they'll become my followers. Everything is in my books. Actually, in modern day society, they sort of emphasize on seeing physically. People want to see things physically, you know. But Srila Prabhupada, he explained, hearing is like seeing. There's many things you can't see physically. You can't see your eyelids. You can't see what's happening next door. Even if you want to go to another country, America or India, you have to learn. You have to read about it, hear about it. And then you get attracted. Then you start contemplating whether it's worth it. Then you get attached to going there. So even that is through hearing. So, it's this hearing is so important. Before Jesus Christ left his body, when he was going to be crucified, there was one person, he knew that if Jesus Christ gets crucified, he'll become very famous in the world. And he told Jesus Christ, you just admit that whatever you have spoken is wrong and we'll let you free. Because he knew the importance of hearing. So hearing is very important. One has to hear from the proper authorities. So in Srila Prabhupada's time, when he was in India, in Jhansi, there was one famous Bhagavatam reciter. He was reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada, he got many people to understand that this person is a bogus person. He's not authorized. So even in life, if we are sincere, then Krishna will guide us to people who will guide us on the right path. There was one devotee, he had a friend and he became very famous through illegal means. And this friend wanted that devotee to come with him. So that devotee, he consulted his Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj. This is one of our Maharaj in India. He consulted him. He said, what should I do now? And Maharaj said, keep a distance from him. Because if you're going to be with him, you get implicated. So this devotee listened to that. And later on, they found this person was in jail. So that shows that through the line of hearing from proper authorities, we get saved from so many difficulties. And the other thing is, it says reading Vedic literatures here. There is a limitless store of Vedic literatures, and once you study this is called the spineless of speech. So one should read the Vedic literatures in the line of parampara. Unfortunately, in modern day society, is tainted by Mayavad philosophy, where they tend to minimize God as a person. Even when Lord Chaitanya, when his pastimes were happening, in his childhood pastimes as a scholar, in those times they were teaching the Srimad Bhagavatam in the line of God being energy. So Lord Chaitanya, he showed by his own example how Krishna is a person. So and then it says here, one should not talk to those who are not his students. So this refers to you have to be in spiritual life. You have to be like a spiritual doctor. Just like a doctor knows how to diagnose a patient according to what's good for him to become cured. So in spiritual life, one also has to know how to deal with those who are coming to him. There was an instance how this is when one comes in touch with a devotee, the destiny changes for the better. So there was one devotee. He was working in a Goshala many years back, and he had an uncle who was a butcher. So the devotee was giving the uncle Mangalati sweets. So at some point, he stopped giving the Mangalati sweets, and the uncle asked, where are those sweets gone? And then, as soon as he became attached to the Mangalati sweets, then Krishna freed him from his karmic reaction. Because you can imagine, being a butcher is not a very good job. You're taking on someone's bad karma. So, in order to just stop him doing that, he had to go to the doctors, and doctor told him, unless you stop eating meat, we'll have to amputate your legs. So, Krishna has his way of purifying us from our attachments in this world. And for him, he needed to go through that. Unfortunately, in the material world, people hold on to their attachments very strongly. And the devotee is given in a nice way how you can break those attachments. So if you listen to the devotees and you learn from them how to break those attachments, then everything becomes easy. It becomes in a nice, loving way. But when Krishna has to correct, he can do it in a heavy way. So he says, Krishna is soft as a rose and is hard as a thunderbolt. Because ultimately he knows what's best for us. And the beginning of spiritual life is to understand you're not this body. So unless you understand you're not this body, the beginning of spiritual life becomes very hard to advance. Example given like a mathematical sum. If you make the sum wrong, calculation in the beginning, the whole calculation will become wrong at the end. So same thing in spiritual life. One has to know the beginning, how to practice. So it says, in order to advance in Krishna consciousness, one has to be a deep thinker. Unless one is a deep thinker, he cannot practice spiritual life. The example is given just like if someone wants to study law, he has to go to law college. So unless he goes to law college, he cannot be a lawyer. So Krishna consciousness is also like that. That is it's a science one has to seriously practice. And Krishna is very merciful that when one takes to Krishna consciousness, he gets put in position of a judge. Even if he's not that advanced, he gets put in of a judge. And then Krishna gives him all the qualifications afterwards. Now you can imagine, to be a judge, how much work you have to do. It's not easy. But Krishna is so merciful that he reciprocates like that, that he puts the devotee in the position of a judge. Then he gives him the qualifications afterwards. So, as practitioners, we have to maintain purity. And if we practice purity, then proper intelligence will come, how to fit into Krishna's plan. So, it says, the devotees and Krishna are never separated. It's like sun and sunshine. You cannot separate sunshine from sun. So devotees and Krishna are properly linked up together. So if we serve the advanced devotees, or even those who are aspiring to be advanced, and through the blessings we also become advanced. In the material world, in this earth planet, everything is based on karma. This is karma bhumi. So you can implicate in good karma, bad karma. So anything you do outside, you're implicating in karma. But in spiritual life, everything based on blessings. So and so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, he says that if one is 100% sincere, then Krishna himself will guide that person. If one is having certain mentality, holding on to certain mentality, according to that mentality, he get guided according to that mentality. Person in the mentality will come and guide him. So everything comes down to what is our ambition. So Prabhupada said our ambition should be to become pure devotees. And this is why the temples are there. The temples are like spiritual oases to give one the facility to come to that platform. Jai Shri Radha Gokulanda Ki Jai. And if one has doubts, then one should read, question devotees and read the books again and again. Because these books are not different from Krishna. And these books are mystical. So if you read them, you get answers given to you. They reveal themselves to you. There's many stories about Srimad Bhagavatam, how when people bought the set, how their destiny changed. So there was a devotee, he had a relative whose son was paralyzed. And this devotee, he preached to his family to buy the Bhagavatam set. He said, this set is not different from Krishna. So if you buy the Srimad Bhagavatam, is having a deity in your house. It's not different from having a deity in your house. So then when they bought the Srimad Bhagavatam set, everyone, all the members, they put the Bhagavatam to their forehead. And even this boy, they put it to the forehead to this boy. And soon after that, this boy left his body. So Krishna freed him from that suffering. He put him in a better situation. There's many stories how devotees on the verge of suicide, and they read one of Prabhupada's books and they then to join the temple. There was a devotee in America. He was in a car and he's going to commit suicide. He closed his windows and devotee knocked on the window and he said, "Why are you disturbing me?" So devotee thought, he just left a book on the bonnet, on the front side. And the person thought, let me at least read this book before I do something. I give up my body. So then he read the book. And he thought, this has got meaning to it. So he looked up the address. And he went to the temple, and now he's a temple president. So that shows you the potency of these books. They're like deities. The other thing is when you're reading the books, you have to contemplate how to apply them in your life. And then Srila Prabhupada explains in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, just like if you analyze your body, you break it down, you see you're not the body. You say, my head, my legs, my hands, but then where's the eye? So you're different from the body. And if you analyze in this way, then you see your intelligence. So that intelligence is linking you to Krishna. So even Srila Prabhupada, he said, one time he made an interesting comment, he said, you can surrender everything to your authorities, but don't surrender your intelligence. Because that intelligence is there to guide you, Krishna is guiding you. And one has to be convinced that Krishna is all providing. So if one understands how he's all providing a super soul, then he can satisfy his tendency of, he become peaceful. Yeah. There's a quote I'll read. Let's see. Okay. This is quoted by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He says, is there respect for genuine devotees in this world? Pure items are rare because they are not easily attainable. There is less demand for them. People tend not to respect them. Pure devotees are rare. Therefore, there is no appreciation, demand, or respect for those who do not misguide people but are busy trying to attract them towards the Lord by introducing them to Sankirtan and Hari Katha. At present, it is fashionable to be cheated by those who in the name of religion misguide people. Real devotees do not speak to please their audiences. They don't cheat people. Rather, pure devotees expose the defects of cheaters who love to compromise. Only those who are fortunate learn to be cautious after hearing the saints' words. Although the words of real devotees may appear to contradict our present taste and experience, they are nevertheless most auspicious for us. Demand for pure things is less, and demand for the impure is high. Wine is sold on every street corner, whereas cow milk is sold only in selected places. Impurity is abundance, but purity is rare. Any questions or comments? So, I'll give you an insight on the potency of Bhagavad Gita, because before I finish. There's a lecture by Gopal Krishna Maharaj. You can listen to these lectures on the ISKCON Desire Tree, the different Swamis. So Gopal Krishna Maharaj was one of our leaders who left his body recently. He was 80 or something. But anyway, he gave a lecture on Bhagavad Gita, and this lecture was how, if you follow Bhagavad Gita as it is, how Prabhupada is giving in his purport, you just follow it. He said you can overcome depression. So that shows you how merciful Krishna is, that if you just surrender to his instructions, then he'll free you from all your sinful reactions. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gave it more in a easier way. He said, someone asked him a question on the verse 1866, Sarva Dharmam Parityajya Mamekam Samvaja Aham Tam Bhabe Moksha Vimasucha. Krishna is saying, if you give up all varieties of religion, surrender to me, I'll free you from all sinful reactions. So, in modern day society, how many can do that? Everyone's working, they got obligations, they got commitments. How many can live in a monastery? Not easy. Everyone got their responsibilities. So he gave an interesting answer. He said, in order to show that contradiction, Lord Chaitanya, he showed the way how to do it. He said, if someone takes to chanting of Hare Krishna, because chanting Hare Krishna you can do in any situation. You take to this chanting, and you take to the path, then the surrender will come. So you don't have to go up and you take to the chanting. Jai. Any other questions or comments? Antaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Just turn around. Put this on top. sideways.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnava Vangsha Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tang Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitansham Bhajasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Bhajasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Bhajate Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
जय राधा गोकुलनंद राधा गोकुलनंद राधा गोकुलनंद राधे। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान, जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय। श्री श्री राधा गोकुलनंद की, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, गौर प्रेमानंदे। कि जय जय गौरचंदे आरती को शोभा। कि जय जय गौरचंदे आरती को शोभा। जानवी तटवने जगमन लोभा। जानवी तटवने जगमन लोभा।